Hey, this is Russ. Hey, I have an announcement to make. Now, you all know that some of the things that I wanted to do after getting my knee replacement done included going back out onto the bike trail, right? And I took you guys out on the bike trail a couple of times with my mobility scooter. But we're not going to do that anymore. Yeah. And you know too that I wanted to take my regular bike out, but I've always had a fear that if I rode my regular bike, okay, and I have a mountain bike, it's I'll show you what it looks like here. It's fairly new actually. I've owned it probably a good 15 years, but I've probably only ridden it, let's say under 50 miles. Let's put it that way, maybe. I mean, the thing is so new that, when you get a tire, you have these little spiky things on the edges of the tires and stuff like that. It still has that after 15 years. And the reason it still has it is because after I bought that bike and I went out on a couple of rides, that's when I actually started noticing that my knee had a problem because my knee would hurt after riding a long period of time, okay? I remember riding once from my home to what's called the Botanic Gardens here in the Chicago area. I don't know how far that was. Quite a few miles, okay? And quite a few miles back as well. I did that a couple of times. And each time the knee started to hurt. Now, if you do small rides, I don't notice it really. I don't really notice it. But you're talking several miles of riding time, okay? Yeah, it got to a point where I almost felt like, can I even make it back home because it hurt so bad. So that's when I hung it up. I just said, that's it. I can't go anymore. And my wife actually bought a bike too because I wanted her to go with me. And I think we only rode together maybe a couple of times. And she hasn't ridden her bike either. So she's got like a brand new bike too that's down in our basement. So anyways, when I got my knee replaced, I announced that, I was on the actual bike trail when we did this. I announced that I was going to go in for my knee replacement. And one of the things I would like to do after I got my new knee was to go back onto a bike and ride the trail. Well, I've had so much problems with my knee. And then I just said, okay, I guess that's not really going to happen. Okay. So then I started thinking, an e-bike, right, would be a good thing to have. Because if you go out, the battery power essentially, you could actually not ever even pedal if you didn't want to, just let the bike ride the whole thing itself. But I felt that I wanted to ride it, and then when I couldn't be able to ride back, I'd have an option to be able to let the battery ride me all the way back home without even having to pedal if I didn't want to. Okay. So I had been researching e-bikes for, since before the knee replacement, actually. So probably a good 2 years. And I had already made my decision which one I would end up buying if I decided to go with it. I'll show you a photo of what I wanted to get. This one's made by Rad Power Bikes, and it's called the Rad Rover. And after researching it, it seems like a lot of people in our age groups buy this bike. Okay, this is a huge bike. It's not small. So anyways, after talking about it so many times with my wife, she says, you're not getting one of these. Okay. She says, ride your own bike. You have a brand new one essentially downstairs. You don't even use it. Well, at this point, I don't know whether I really can use it. Okay, I could use it for short rides, but if I want to go exploring places, I can't use it. I can't get back. All right, that's my fear. So I guess after all this time, she must have thought about it, and she knows that I really wanted to get one of these. She sees me watching YouTube videos all the time on bicycles, and and she's told me I can't get it, and I still watch them anyways. So she surprised me on Friday. Actually, it wasn't Friday. It was Saturday. She surprised me on Saturday and said, you can get a bike. So within a half hour, I ordered one of these bikes. Now, one of our viewers said to me, "What took you so long? Half hour? That was a long time. It should have been quicker." So why do you buy something so fast? Well, I've been researching this thing for like 2 years, and I've seen every video about it, and I knew this would be the one. Now, you might question, why did you buy this Rad Rover instead of the Rad Rover step through? I'll show you a photo of the step through here. Now, the step through would be easier for someone who has, bad knees and things like that. But I've tested myself on my bike downstairs. I can swing my leg over the bike. It's not a problem for me. And I think that's probably from the flexibility from all the years of martial arts. Okay, I still have some decent flexibility. And now you might say, okay, as you get older, you might appreciate the step through. That is true. That is true. So, but part of me too is used to having a bike with the top bar on it. I mean, I don't want to sound sexist or anything like that, but years ago, they used to call those type of bike men's bikes, right? And the step through type of things would be women's bikes because I guess, I don't know, way, way, way back when, maybe women rode bikes with skirts on, okay? And you don't want that top bar there if you have skirts on, right? But who rides a bike with a skirt? Well, anyways, I'm just used to having a bike with the top bar on it, and there's some strength in the frame when you have that. There's just mechanically it's a stronger bike, but these things are built like a tank. I mean, whether you use the step through version or not, I think they're pretty much the same bike. But it's just something I'm used to. So I bought one of these. Plus another thing too, it was actually in stock. Bikes have been in short supply since the pandemic. People have been buying bikes and riding all the time now. And so, so if I wanted to buy it before, I would have had several months of wait time. And then, of course, during the winter, you could buy it, but then you can't ride it, okay? Well, this one happened to be available. It's available in black, okay, which is what I would have ordered anyways. They also have some forest green color, but I felt that it looked too military or too outdoorsy being green. Green's not me, okay? So the bike was actually in stock. So that's why I said, yeah, it's available for me to get it. So I got confirmation today that they have shipped the bike, and it's coming from Washington State. So to get to Illinois, you're talking a 4 to 5 day business day shipping time. So I'm assuming that would mean this bike should be here by Friday or at the latest Monday of next week. All right. So I'm looking forward to it, and I want to take you guys out with me. I've been in the studio, so to speak, for since the knee replacement. I haven't really gone out. I haven't done a whole lot other than going grocery shopping, and I knew that this year I wanted to get back to fishing, which is what I'm going to do. I'll take you guys to that too. And I said, I will take the bike out and ride maybe some short trips on the old bike, right? Which is really kind of like a new bike anyways, right? But now with the e-bike, I can take you a lot further, right? The range on these bikes are, they say 25 to 40 miles, depending on terrain and your weight. Now, I'm a pretty big guy, all right? The maximum weight that these Rad Rovers and the Rad Rover step-through bikes can handle, in fact, most of their Rad bikes, is 275 pounds, all right? I am not 275 pounds, but I will admit I'm up there, okay? But I am not 275, all right? So I'm under their weight limit. So the tires on these bikes are 4-inch tires. They're big, fat tires for big, fat guys like me. All right, now, a big guy on a bike does not look good, but hey, if you got a heavy frame with that big, fat tire on it, it's kind of built for me, right? So I think it should be okay. And I haven't ridden a bike in, like I said, probably a good 15 years. But you never forget how to ride a bike, really. Yeah, my balance would still be there. I know it would be because I've tried small little things around the basement before the knee replacement, and I was able to do it, okay? So I know my balance is still there. So we'll see how well I do with this one. How fast do these things go? Well, they claim that you can legally do 20 miles per hour, and that's what the top speed is on these bikes. And if you watch any of these YouTube videos on these bikes, you'll see that people do at least 20 miles an hour with no problem. But there is a hidden menu section in there, and you can actually top this bike out at 24 to 25 miles per hour. I think it's set for 25, but they legally can't ship it that way, so they set it for 20. But there's a hidden menu thing option to move it to 25. So I'm going to move it to 25. I don't intend to go that fast, but we'll see how fast we end up doing. They tell me that once you've been riding these for a while, you tend to get bored at 20 miles an hour and you want to go a little quicker. But there's always that danger too. You know, the faster you go, the harder you crash if you crash. Now, I've got to get a helmet and all that stuff. I tried to find my old helmet. I can't find it. It's down in the basement somewhere. I know I've seen it once before there. But yeah, I can't find it, so I had to order another one. So I know my wife won't be happy with that. And you got to buy some accessories. You know, you're gonna want to put a bike rack on there, and they have all these options. But my old bike has a rack. I'm gonna see if I can remove it off my old bike and put the back bike rack on there. And you know, there's odds and ends that you're gonna have to put, you know, a bottle holder, all that kind of stuff. So little by little, you add things to it, and you're gonna need a lock, of course, and you need a really good lock in order to lock up the bike. So that's stuff that's going to have to be purchased in addition to the bike. So how much is this bike? Right. All right. So sad to say, it was $1,699. And by the time you add 10% sales tax, we were just over $1,800 for this bike. Realistically, by the time you add some accessories to it and a bike lock and all that, you're talking a couple $100 more. So this is at least a $2,000 investment to do this. So anyways, here's what I wanted to ask you guys. You know, a lot of people use a GoPro. I don't know if you know what that is. I'll take a picture. I'll show you a photo here of what a GoPro looks like. This is what most people put when they do action things out on the road. I don't have one of these. I have a standard Canon point and shoot camera, which is what I'm recording all my videos with. And the only difference really is that the GoPro goes wider. All right, this is it's a wide angle on there, but it's a little bit narrower than the width of a GoPro. And so I was thinking, rather than mounting that camera on the bike, I would just wear a chest mount. So it would actually just kind of stay with me, and it'll just mount right on my chest here. And then you would see the forward facing of that. You would see probably my arms and the handlebar and maybe the front tire of the bike, and then you'd see everything that I see. I'm thinking that's probably more interesting for you, where you can see where I'm going and I can talk over it, right? So I'm going to have to figure out the technicalities behind all this camera stuff and audio stuff. No problem. I have all that gear. I just have to figure out what's the best way to do all this. So here's what I want to ask you guys is, what would you like to see on that? Would you just like to see the trails that I go on? What I was thinking might be interesting is, you usually just sit there watching me talking. I could actually talk while I'm writing and tell you the things I need to tell you. But then, of course, you get to see what I'm doing on the bike. What do you think of that? Or would you prefer to see my face? Now, we could do that too, but I'd have to rig up something where the camera faces me while I'm riding. Now, the problem with this too is, of course, as you're riding, you kind of get winded after a while. So if I'm talking while I'm pedaling and stuff, you don't want to hear me talk like this, right? Because that's probably what it's going to sound like after biking. Of course, I could, stop pedaling, regain my breath and just talk, and of course use the throttle and let the bike ride on its own. That's a possibility too. So tell me real quickly in a comment below, what is the best way I should do these things? Should I show you what I'm looking at while I'm talking? Or should the camera be facing me so that you see me and, of course, the background of things that I've passed, all right? Would you prefer to see me, or would you prefer to see what I'm looking at while hearing me talk, okay? Because I'm thinking we can do knee replacement videos too at the same time while I'm biking. So I can kind of do both things at the same time, which gets me outside, all right? Which is my whole goal since starting this whole thing, is I wanted to get out of this house and do things. So tell me in the comments, all right? If you haven't commented before, comment this time. How would you like to see future Russ's Ride videos, all right? Now, obviously, we're going to be in the studio every now and then. I can't ride all the time, all right? And so, but when I am able to ride, and I'm talking, would you like to see what I'm seeing and just hear me talk? Or would you like to see my face while I'm writing and talking? Okay. Put a comment below. Anyways, I appreciate you guys watching all this time. And I know that some of my topics go off topic of the knee, and maybe some of you don't like that. I know a couple people unsubscribed since the last 2 videos. I hope you don't do that. I mean, I don't do it that often. But of course, you know, I can't do 6 days a week of videos strictly on the knee. It's kind of hard to do that. But I do want to try to do it on a daily basis. That's why I've been doing it constantly. It gives me something to do too, by the way. It's not just you know, something that benefits you guys. It benefits me by doing these videos. It helps me out, makes me feel better that I'm doing something in life. So let me know, okay? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. And if you're interested in this type of stuff, stay with me, okay? We're gonna take you outside of the studio. Okay. I mean, you see my background. You always see the lake in the background. Let's ride around that lake. What do you think? Wouldn't that be more interesting? Anyways, I appreciate it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys next time.